Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are once again the Middle-Aged Guys, and this video is actually by request, even though we're going to get around to it anyway, because we're gamers, and we've always been gamers ever since we were like young. And by the three of us combined, we have at least over 100 years experience of gaming. So the request comes from one of my subscribers, Elik NOI, and he proceeds to ask, are we going to be discussing Billy Mitchell being banned from the Twin Galaxies database? And of course, we were going to get around to that. But before we get into that, let's get the intros out of the way. The theme here.
I'm Grey Mouse One.
And the Reverend Ongaju right here.
Now, of course, if you don't know by now, Billy Mitchell, of course, is banned from the Twin Galaxies database. And the reason why is because he has been caught cheating. He was the world record holder of Donkey Kong until it was discovered that he was caught cheating with that. Now, as gamers, I mean, damn, that's one of our best hobbies. And as gamers, we have a lot of pride with our gaming and our gaming skills and what we love as far as gaming and stuff like that. We despise cheaters. Cheaters, motherfuckers that mod against the gaming will or, you know, cheat online and versus. We hate all of that shit. I hate all of that shit. I despise it. I can't stand it. Why are you going to cheat at a fucking video game? Your skills are that garbage that you have to cheat at a fucking video game? Or even if I'm in person, you're going to unplug my controller or press a power button? Fuck you. But anyway, enough of my rambling about this and giving my opinions just only. Guys, the floor is open. What do you think about this situation?
Well, you know, the funny thing about the whole Billy Mitchell thing is that the thing about him setting the world record and everything else is that the last time he went ahead, he set the world record for Donkey Kong, I think was back in 2015. No, excuse me, back in like 2010 or 2012, because everybody knows him from the King of Kong, which I believe was done back in 2009 or 2010. Let's see here. Yeah, actually 2007 was when they did King Kong. And basically the whole story was that they had Billy Mitchell and I believe it was Steve Wiebe, all right, who was going back and forth, you know, trying to go ahead and set the world record, the Guinness Book of World Record, for the highest score in Donkey Kong. And this is kind of one of the things that weighs really kind of heavy on this, because it isn't just some Joe Schmo on some leaderboard up on fucking Android games or Apple Play or fucking you know, on the Xbox leaderboard someplace. No, this is concerning a formally recognized Guinness Book of World Records record. All right, something that has been established by that, right?
Yeah.
And you know, the like I said, the thing about it was that the last time he went ahead and he set the world record, or he established the world record that was recognized, was something back in 2010, and people were already asking. They were like, okay, so when he reclaimed his title, because the thing is, in February 26th, Hank Chen, who legitimately in person verified, okay, this is what I can get in Donkey Kong as far as my score and everything. Okay, he temporarily set the record, and then Mitchell reclaimed his title after he went ahead and he submitted basically a videotape, a very low quality videotape of gameplay of him playing Donkey Kong, and it showed the score at the end. All right. After a lot of analysis, because the tape is, you know, was made public not only through Twin Galaxies, but also put up on hosting sites like YouTube and other things like that. You know, the cyber sleuths came out and they were like, hey, this can't be, a regular arcade cabinet, because regular arcade cabinets, when they using a CRT monitor, they refresh from top to bottom. All right. When you're using a computer screen and you're refreshing things and you're using an emulator like MAME, it refreshes from left to right. So they're literally sitting there. People are breaking it down frame by fucking frame. Okay. And with magnifying glasses on bad fucking video on these fucking computer screens, trying to go out of their way, and they're playing Sherlock Holmes on this shit. They really came to the conclusion that it's like, all right, this couldn't have been done on an actual arcade machine, and because it's using MAME, it had to opened up the ability to go ahead and say he's probably using something that's tool assisted, all right? Because you can run cheats on MAME.
Yes,
all right?
you can.
Now, the funny thing is that this wouldn't have actually become finalized or something that people really, really paid attention to if the longest standing world record for a video game, which was held by David Crane for the Atari 2600 game Dragster, didn't come under scrutiny just a few weeks prior to this, all right? And the funny thing is that David Crane actually went out of his way, and he to sit there and say that his record was completely legit, he actually reached out to fucking Ben Heck, okay? And Ben Heck, who is probably the most well-known modder in all the fucking world, all right, when it came to video games and video game consoles and working with the innards of stuff on the base board level, all right? Ben Heck put together a rig that sat there and injected commands on the base operating system, the bus level of the Atari 2600 and everything else. And using the variables of, hey, look, this is exactly the type of input that it can take, down to the bandwidth limitations for millifucking seconds, right? He couldn't replicate the record that David Crane said that he replicated. All right. And that David Crane had supposedly held for over a fucking decade on Twin Galaxies. All right. When Twin Galaxies finally got up to that point, and, there had been years people sitting there doing the mathematical equation saying that his record is completely impossible to do. After doing that, Twin Galaxies finally decided to go ahead and strike his record down. Okay. Once that was done, that pretty much kind of opened up the floodgate for a lot of the records to be up to scrutiny, and Billy Mitchell was next. So, yeah, unlike David Crane, though, Billy Mitchell was at the center of a fucking documentary film that saw worldwide fucking release. So, yeah, this type of shit, I'd have to say it was going to happen sooner or later, kind of funny that it came about in a roundabout way, but dude, it's fucking Donkey Kong. Really? All right. Well, I'm going to get off the pedestal for that second. Gray Mouse, what are your thoughts on it, man?
I don't know. It's rather shameful, quite honestly. Billy Mitchell went as far as taking out the Donkey Kong board from the arcade machine on that kind of like the same grainy VHS tape type of video to supposedly prove that he was actually playing on the arcade. In fact, the camera went behind the arcade to show the board. And then when you start showing those things, you got tech geeks out there that know what a real Donkey Kong board looks like, and they start scrutinizing you even more. So actually it just added flame to the fire, and it was pretty funny that he thought that he can get away with it by saying, hey, look, this is the board here. This is a real Donkey Kong board. But in actuality, he was actually putting in a Donkey Kong Jr. board, if I remember correctly. So which is very funny. But the thing is, is I think even I may be getting my data wrong here, but it won't be the first time. But I think Twin Galaxies had something to do with it as well. That there were some things going on with them because I think he was best friends with the owner of Twin Galaxies or something like that. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and I guess Twin Galaxy finally decided to come out with it officially and strike his record down. But Billy Mitchell is not a. How can I say this? He's not he's very egotistical and narcissist, and I think that's one of the things that actually brought him was his undoing. Simply, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but apparently, I think Twin Galaxy and him had it out behind the scenes and everything. I mean, why else would Twin Galaxy actually strike his record down? Because I mean, rumor. I don't know. From what I understood was that Twin Galaxies actually knew about it was completely bogus record in the first place. But since he was friends with the owner, that
But
that they allowed
that
it.
being the case, and Twin Galaxies needs to be held accountable for that.
I mean, I think I'm correct. I know that there's some. I know there was some stuff, some shady stuff going on between those two. But for a record, who gives a hell? I mean, come on, man. Donkey Kong, really?
You'd be surprised on what's in the Guinness World Records and what people strive for. But I get your point. Trust me.
I open last year.
I'm not putting a whole bunch of bees on me to hold a fucking record in the world. I'm not doing it.
No. But it's I guess what his score was like over 1 million something. It was like a perfect Donkey Kong game. As in he jumped over every freaking thing.
Every barrel he
conquered every board. You know, he stacked Donkey Kongs on top of each other. You know, but yeah, I mean, this guy went to great lengths.
Hey, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, at the time, it looks like, according to the VHS that was sent in, all right, Billy Mitchell recorded a score of 1,047,200 points altogether, all right? Mm-hmm. Dave Wiebe, who was the other gamer who was showcased within that particular documentary, who was actually there in person in front of people playing it on an actual arcade cabinet, was able to set a score of 985,600. Okay. Now, the thing is that was all the way back in 2007. The current record for Donkey Kong was actually set this year, February 2nd, 2018, by Robbie Lakerman. Right, Robbie Lakeman, sorry, and he set the record with 1,247,700 points. So, yeah, the thing is that according to the video cassette that was sent in, like how Grey Mouse was describing it, and this was part of the investigation that a lot of the sleuths came up with and everything else. They were like, okay, the actions that are being done on this video cassette, they don't add up to the score that he's reporting here. All right, and that was a big issue with what was going on, you know. Yeah, so it looks like for up until Robbie went ahead and he beat it just this year, back in February. From what I understand, they went ahead and they decided to go ahead and hand the record, officially recognize the record holder as, what was it? It was, what's the name? Sam Wiebe, or what's the name? Steve Wiebe. Yeah, they went ahead and they officially recognized him as the record holder, but then his record was beaten February legitimately by Steve Lakeman.
Now, shit that's done legitimately, yes. I don't know how long I could stay and play Donkey Kong and stay alive. I mean, damn, I've been in arcades and, one quarter would get me far, but not that far. I've never been.
Another thing, what people don't realize about Billy Mitchell too is that he played the perfect Pac-Man game as well.
Which but I don't think the perfect Pac-Man game was ever went ahead and held up to something that was reported through Guinness Book of World Records.
No. It's I mean, it's been proven that the game actually
does glitch at that point. True. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I mean, I don't see why he would cheat on Donkey Kong. Just be a man and
wasn't the first. He definitely won't lead. I mean, look at dickheads like Todd Rogers by any chance. Yeah. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy too.
It's one of those things where you got to sit there and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's just video games." And there are a lot of things that people will do, just humans in general will do, for
notoriety,
for notoriety and the ability to sit there and have their name in the history books,
forever. To sit, I mean, like I say, there's a lot of crazy shit in Guinness World Records.
Yeah, people will commit fucking mass murder in order to get their name as part of history. All right.
Oh Lord, yes, they would. People will eat glass every day for a week or some shit like that, or cover themselves with bees and be like, and I'm like, nah, fuck. Wait, your name is that important to get in the history books?
Yeah, I mean, and we're not even talking, fear factor bullshit or anything like that. It's just this, like I said, there are certain things. If you see, all you have to do is follow reality TV, and you'll see that there are certain things that people are willing to do, no matter how dumb it is, in order to get some sort of notoriety and fame.
I was actually right. It's Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell. Rogers was revealed that he entered bogus records into Twin Galaxies.
And he's been banned for life. Good.
So Twin Galaxies is just as guilty as Billy Mitchell, in my aspect. I mean, so can you hold any record that Twin Galaxies has on their website to any scrutiny? I mean, to me, well, there's 2 games already that got eliminated from your board. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being cynical here, but one time I can understand, but twice? 3 times?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, is that Twin Galaxies has been around since 1981.
That's correct.
And the thing is that over 36 years, there's a bunch of things that have gone through Twin Galaxies that are definitely legit. All right. On the flip side, though, we can also go ahead and recognize that there's a bunch of things that have gone through Twin Galaxies that is complete bullshit. Okay. And whether or not it be the case where somebody had a backdoor connection into the guys who sit there and they run the forum and the record holders, Twin Galaxies or whatnot. Like I said, with these particular type of things, the detectives will come out. The guys who just know how to recognize bullshit like this are going to come out. And that's, probably one of the things that's, maybe the upside of having things publicly available on the internet. Is that anybody could go ahead and look at the data that's been posted in front of everybody, and they can go ahead and have their input. All right. The other problem, though, is that guess what? Then you also open up the opportunity to get this bullshit data put in front of everybody by any crazy motherfucker in the world. And guess what? There's almost 7 billion crazy motherfuckers on Earth. So that you have ample opportunity to have enough bullshit, put in front of you in order for something to land down and hold some sort of record.
If you're going to pull some bullshit, you have to know in the back of your mind that there's about 30 tech-savvy individuals that's going to scrutinize your score or whatever.
More than that.
But down to the littlest pixel. If a pixel's out of place, it's not supposed to be there. Even what's it called? Speedrunners. That cheating is I'm not saying it's run rampant on that, but there's a lot of cases where these speedrunners, like the Mario run and all this stuff from start to finish in 4 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. There's been some cases where people are splicing their gameplay together, and you got these tech savvy guys that can go deep inside and know, because the audio's not quite right, or there's a drop in audio where it shouldn't be.
You see, I respect the guys that actually are there and a crowd is in back of them and they're watching them play the game on a fucking console or at a fucking arcade machine or whatever. I respect that, because there are a lot of videos out there that people do that and they do shit legit. Bravo, congratulations to that. But we are totally against fabricating high scores or not getting hit or speed runs or all that shit. Tool assisted. Tool assisted shit that just do that shit and display that shit on video. Okay, fine. But to submit it to try to get your name in the record books and things like that and try to claim that's it legit. If you're doing that or trying to do that or plan to do that, fuck you, all right? Gaming is a good hobby. It's a good pastime. Don't fucking ruin it by doing shit like that.
It wouldn't be so bad if you just admit that he was on MAME. I mean, okay, so what?
You're still playing arcade, but don't redo the shit. Just play the game and play it through.
And here's the thing, too, is that, a lot of arcade records have actually been set by people running main emulation.
Yes.
But they do it under the pretense where it's like, hey, look, I have the Guinness, I have the arbiters. They're right here. They can validate that my shit is running legitly. I don't have any fucking tool-assisted programs running in the background and everything like that. And they are here while I do this publicly with them. All right? Mm-hmm. And, here's the thing. I think in general, here's the thing. In general, myself personally, and I don't think this sways very far with anybody else who's in this particular video, is that if you have a legitimate skill, if you're able to legitimately do something well, then go out of your way, record it, put it out there, okay? If you have a legitimate claim where you could say, hey, I do this better than anybody else in the fucking world who's been alive up until this point, all right, then go through the process, okay? Because here's the thing. Every record that's out there, eventually it's going to get broken. But at least the folks who've legitimately done it know that they've done it legitimately, all right? And even though they become a former record holder, they're still held under the same esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And
some of them can fight to get that record back.
I wouldn't. But the thing is let's not forget. Billy Mitchell's skillful. I mean, he got caught playing MAME, but it still takes skill, even if it's on MAME. Because, he ran MAME. There was I don't know if there was any tool assistance behind the scenes on MAME, but he's still a skillful gamer. I mean, he played PacMan. He flipped PacMan. I mean, that's pretty impressive to me. And I mean, let's not deny that he is skillful. It's just unfortunately that he decided to not let everybody know that his Donkey Kong score was done on MAME. I think that's a record in itself. I mean, who cares? Okay, so you did Donkey Kong. You got the highest score on Donkey Kong on MAME. That's an accomplishment there. Without tool assistance. I mean, there's other categories of records that he could have went for, and it just
understood. But all what we're saying is that shit should have just been disclosed, and you said that earlier.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as that is disclosed, and as long as you're not doing any form of cheating, like tool assistant or messing with your footage to make it seem like it's just one run, but you're combining multiple things together. No, screw that, man. Just do it legit.
Look, let's just say it this way. The guy is obviously legit enough to where he was fucking parodied, and the role of him was played by Peter Dinklage in fucking
Yep.
Pixels, that
Yep.
horrible Adam Sandler movie. All right.
Yep.
Yes, that was him.
Watch that.
Okay. Unfortunately. All right.
So before we get into that, I'm kind of wondering how many records are going to be set off of the mini, the game that are on
The SNES Classic Mini.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's still a record. Yeah, you didn't play it on the original hardware through emulation, but it's still a record. And that's what I'm saying is if he would have disclosed that, okay, guys, I got this score on MAME. This is what I did. Here's proof that I did it. And then people wouldn't bother. But then when you go out and say, well, I stood at the arcade cabinet and I did that, that's night and day. You know, it's different.
Here's the thing. All right. If somebody sits there and goes out of their way and they say, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a world record speed run of a Secret of Mana. All right. And all they have is a SNES Classic Edition. All right. If somebody's sitting right there and can legitimately vouch for what's going on, and it's not somebody who's one of their friends or family members or anything else like that, and so it's a completely official, unbiased third party and stuff like that, then it's fucking legit, okay?
Exactly.
Because let's just face it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All of the video game hardware that's out there that's been in existence, a lot of that stuff only exists now in emulation.
Yep.
Okay. So it's not really the case where, oh, he used MAME. That was his big sin. No, he used MAME on a fucking VHS tape that was unverified by third-party people that were right there in the fucking room with him. All right. He sent that in, and guess what? Since Twin Galaxies was considered an authoritative reference by the folks at the Guinness Book of World Records, the Guinness people sat there and they said, hey, look, these guys know what they're doing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take it at their word. All right. When the truth of the matter is that he had it in with some guy behind the curtain, and, you know, they went ahead and they let that shit pass.
Right.
All right. Is this something that's going to change the history of human society and evolution as it goes? No. But as a gamer, as somebody who avidly fucking games, your skill is either legit or you're a fucking cheater. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're a fucking cheater,
Exactly.
Hey, you're only as good up until the point until you started cheating, and then you're a fucking cheater. All right? Fuck you. Okay, it's worse being accused of cheating when someone is right next to you and you're playing on the same console. Look, here's the thing. At least if we're at the arcade or you're playing on the same fucking console and you start cheating, you're close enough for me to backhand the fuck out of you. Okay.
Wait. There's no Game Genie in there. I don't have no automatic controllers. Trust me, I've been accused of. Gray Mouse 1 has been there.
But still. Here's that's kind of the point. That kind of proves the point of having a third party person there.
Oh yeah,
but you know that I think I don't know if we have anything else to say about this.
Yeah, we've said enough on this. So
wrap us up.
Anybody that has watched the video up this point, what do you think about the situation, and what do you think about guys like Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell, and what do you think about the Twin Galaxies situation of banning these people, eliminating their scores, eliminating them from their gaming history of what they're setting or what they claim to set or what they sent, and it being discovered that they didn't do it in a legit fashion? Yes, it's video games. Yes, you may not, it's just video games, whatever. But some people have went out of their way to do this. So what do you think about that? Please leave a comment below. And if you've got to this point of watching this video, thank you for watching this video up to this point. Yes, that's sound of a broken record. Yes, that's been in reverse, but okay. But anyway, if you like what we've been talking about, if you want to stick around, hit that like button. If you hit that dislike button, we're okay with that too. And if we really like what we do, go ahead and mash on subscribe. Set up those notifications so whenever the Middle Age guys put out something as a group or as individuals, you'll be able to see when we come about. So, once again, the theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And the Reverend.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, and not cheating. Credits.
Motherfucker, at least put your quarter up on the cabinet. Fucking put it up on the cabinet. God damn.
Damn it, I missed it. What, are we going to start putting quarters on NES and SNES Classics now?
You know I got the slots for it sitting over there.
I still got to get one of those and put it right next to my freaking arcade stick. Why not?